Coffee light. If you've been eating protein every morning and still feel weaker than you did a few years ago, there's a good chance the problem isn't your protein, it's your timing. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through 5 breakfast mistakes that may be quietly working against your muscles, including one most people don't find out about until they've already lost real strength. Let's get into mistake number 1. Most of us grew up with a breakfast built around toast, cereal, or coffee. Light on protein, heavy on carbs. That habit becomes a bigger problem after 60. As we age, research suggests our bodies become less efficient at converting the protein we eat into muscle. Scientists call this anabolic resistance. It means older bodies may need more protein per meal than younger bodies to trigger the same amount of muscle repair. A slice of toast with a little peanut butter simply doesn't provide enough protein to clear that higher threshold. Aim for roughly 25 to 30 grams of protein at breakfast specifically. That's about 3 to 4 eggs or a cup of Greek yogurt with a scoop of nuts. Think of breakfast as your first and most often skipped opportunity to support muscle repair for the day. This doesn't mean overhauling your whole diet overnight. Small, consistent changes to one meal can add up meaningfully over weeks and months. If eggs or yogurt aren't appealing every day, rotating between a few go-to options keeps it sustainable rather than something you dread. Oatmeal, fruit smoothies, granola, these get marketed as healthy breakfasts, and they're not bad foods, but many contain only 5 to 8 grams of protein per serving, well short of what may support muscle repair at this age. The issue isn't that these foods are wrong, it's that they're often eaten instead of a protein source, not alongside one. An easy fix: keep the oatmeal, but stir in a scoop of unflavored protein powder, or add a side of Greek yogurt. A fruit smoothie becomes far more supportive of muscle health with a scoop of protein powder or a spoon of nut butter blended in. You don't have to give up the foods you enjoy, just make sure protein has a seat at the table too. Reading nutrition labels can help here. Many popular healthy breakfast products are surprisingly low in protein once you check the numbers, even when they're marketed around wellness and energy. If you're not hungry in the morning, skipping breakfast can feel harmless. But for older adults, this may mean going 12 or more hours without protein overnight, and often not making up that gap later in the day. Research on protein distribution suggests spreading protein evenly across 3 meals may support better muscle maintenance than loading it all into dinner. If mornings genuinely don't bring an appetite, start small. A hard-boiled egg or a small glass of milk can count. The goal isn't a big meal, it's simply not leaving that first stretch of the day empty. For some, low morning appetite can be tied to medication timing, dehydration, or simply a habit built over decades. If a lack of appetite is persistent or new, that's worth mentioning to your doctor, since it can sometimes point to something worth checking, rather than just personal preference. Plant-based eaters especially can run into this one. Foods like toast, plain grains, or fruit-based breakfasts often lack the full range of amino acids the body needs to actually build muscle tissue, not just meet a protein number on a label. This doesn't mean animal protein is required. It means pairing sources matters. Combining foods like whole grains with beans or lentils, or adding a scoop of a complete plant protein powder, may help ensure your body gets what it needs to support muscle repair, not just a high protein count on paper. A simple example: whole grain toast with hummus provides a more complete amino acid profile than toast alone, and pairing oatmeal with a spoon of peanut butter and a handful of nuts does the same. Small pairings like these can make a meaningful difference without requiring a complicated meal plan. This last one surprises people. Even a well-planned high-protein breakfast may work better when it's paired with some movement, even light movement, within the same few hours. Some research suggests gentle activity, like a short walk or light stretching, may help the body actually use that morning protein for muscle repair, rather than just processing it as fuel. You don't need a formal workout. A 10 to 15-minute walk after breakfast may be enough to support this effect for most people. Even standing and moving around the kitchen while cleaning up, or a short stretch routine in front of the TV, is a reasonable starting point if a walk isn't accessible some days. The goal isn't intensity, it's consistency. Pairing a protein-rich breakfast with even modest daily movement is a small habit that may compound meaningfully over time. So, to recap, eat enough protein at breakfast specifically, don't let low-protein health foods replace it, don't skip the meal entirely, combine protein sources for completeness, and pair it with a little movement. As always, check with your doctor before making changes to your diet or routine. If this was helpful, I'd love for you to subscribe and let me know in the comments which of these 5 you're going to try first.